Alright guys, you can see at the beginning of the video that we are at the park, and it's really crazy to think of the weather that we're having, and I know that it's going to throw some people off because the title of the video is about processing our chickens, but you know, what does that got to do with the park? Well, today's a beautiful day outside. Amelia wanted to head down to the park, so we thought, you know what, we might as well, because there's not probably any days left after today for our nice weather that we've been experiencing. In fact, you know, we've talked about this a little bit the past couple of days, but we had a spike up in temperatures to low to mid 70s, which is just phenomenal. Super crazy for this time of the year, especially here mid-November. Normally, we are just above freezing to freezing at this point. Especially depending on what time of the day it is. So I know that last week and the week before we've had snow, not any that have stuck. It's kind of melted on contact, but still snow, probably 5 or 6 days now. So with that said and out of the way, we are down here, or I'm down here watching Amelia play, and I figured I might as well talk to you guys because we recently just processed our meat birds. Viv and I did. And I have to say, it was a unique scenario for Vivian. She was super excited for it. She learned a lot from it. She said she will probably never do it again. And then after the fact, she said no, she wasn't going to do it again. And then a couple of days after our processing, she said that she probably would do it again. So I think she was pretty nervous in the beginning, but we got our birds processed. We did go through, we called our larger birds, and our plan was to take one bird that was one of our meat birds, and one that was very small, pull it out and put it in with our laying hens, and to process the rooster that we had. And we decided that there was actually 3 in total that were very small, 2 white ones and 1 black one. So we did take those 3, we did put them over with our hens. But I know a lot of people have been asking, you know, is it worth raising meat birds? And the fact of the matter is yes, to a very big extent it is. We were raising 9 meat birds, and it cost us about $65 in feed to feed them. And these were dual-purpose birds. These were egg-layer meat birds. That means that they're not the best egg layer. That means they're not the best meat bird. They were some heritage. We had one of them was a heritage breed. I can't remember which one it was. But that said, it took us about 3 times the length, or 3 times the amount of time to get them to an appropriate butcher weight. Even then, they were fairly small. That said, though, doing the math on it, we were about $10 a bird by the time that we were done with it. We added a little bit of feed at the end just to kind of boost, and we were paying a little bit extra in feed with COVID going on right now, and there being so many shortages. So it is something that by the time that we were done with it, like I said, we were about $10 a bird. That's fed completely organic, non-GMO feed, except for one bag. There was one bag 1 week that we could not find a non-GMO organic feed, and I had to get what we could find. There was also 1 week at the end that I had to feed them a layer feed because that's all that there was available in the stores. I know we talked about that a lot on the channel, that shortage of availability, but we started off the process by getting the pen pulled up next to where we were going to butcher our birds at. I did record a little bit of video, and I'll show you guys right now of us setting up the area and going through and describing everything. Once we were done setting up, we had a pretty good system going. Viv would get the chickens, We'd bring them over. We'd use a lasso knot. We'd hang 2 of them at a time upside down. We'd let them sit for about 30 to 45 seconds, just enough for them to settle down. Once they were settled down, we would cut their main artery in their neck. They would bleed out. We'd let them sit for about 3 to 5 minutes to bleed out. Once that was done, we would take them from there. We would submerge them in a scalding pot for about 30 seconds. We'd pull them out of there. We'd put them in a plucker. We'd have them plucked, and then we took them from there and we put them into buckets of cold water. Now, at the time that we were doing this, it was mid to lower 40s was the temperature range when we were processing. We started processing as soon as I got home from work one day, and then we processed until, well, we didn't get done until almost 11 in the evening. So it does take way longer than you think, especially when it's getting dark out so early.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our old farmhouse, and today we are going to be butchering our meat chickens. Our smallest meat chicken, we're going to be saving her, and we're actually going to be putting her in with the ladies.
We're the 2 helpers, and we're the 2 cutters. That's not right, but we're good.
Yes sir, you heard that right.
All right, Bram, what do you think about this?
I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because they don't like me.
And then give us an update, Viv.
So we currently are on our 3rd chicken killing right now. We have the other ones waiting there, and I'm going to do last personally because he's going to be the hardest for us. We're going to kill the rooster last because I honestly don't want to catch him until all the others are dead. And so we can scare him.
All right, so after you've cut their jugular, how long are we going to let them wait?
Around 3 minutes.
Around 3 minutes. All right, Viv, so go ahead and explain to them. We already did a little bit, but what are you going to do next?
So we're basically going to pull up on the chicken a little so that the rope is actually bending a little so you can actually loosen up the string.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do that, then your chicken is going to be stuck here, and when you're trying to pull him into the pot, he's just going to stay here. So you pull this off. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get whatever it is. Looks to be on the floor, I think it is.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know where it is.
So she was talking about the rope that we used to gently pull their head down.
Oh, there it is.
What's next, Viv?
I put them in here.
All right, so she's going to dip them in all the way to the yellow of its feet. She wants to do it kind of quickly. And then she wants to bring it up and down. Up and down. We count to 20. And then at 20 seconds, she's going to go ahead and gently tuck a feather out. All right, Viv, check. You didn't get that part real wet. Check the... All right, let's keep going. Keep ducking them. You want to keep moving. Let me check the temperature. It might have dropped down. So keep ducking them. Oh.
Looks to be good to me.
We're gonna check. All right, let's go ahead. Let's turn it on first. I gotta go turn the water on, so don't drop them yet. All of our helpers left, so now Viv and I are back here running back and forth, so we don't just leave the hose on. It's not necessarily the fastest operation going on out here, but we are getting done. Is he stuck? Grab them and move them around. Sometimes they get stuck. Oh, pick them up so I can turn back on. Ready? All right, so Viv had a little bit of an incident with the first chicken that she went to kill, and unfortunately when she cut, she did not cut back quite far enough, so it ended up falling down out of the noose that we tied its feet up with, and got out into the yard. We had to catch it and dispatch it. Unfortunately, is not what we want to happen, of course, at any time, but it is humanely dispatched. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get it over into the scalder, we're going to scald it and then get it into the plucker. Now, I'll tell you guys, and we'll go over this in a little bit more detail near the end of the video, so please stay tuned through the entire thing. But I do highly recommend that if you are going to process any kind of poultry, one of these induction cookers, or some people call them a hot plate. These things work miracles. I had this stock pot that I filled up this morning before going to work, and then I just gave Chris a call on my way home and I asked her to turn it on when I was about 10 minutes from home. It got it up to just under boiling. I brought it out here. I turned this on medium, I think it was medium. Turn it on medium, I set the hot plate onto it, and it was boiling within just a couple of seconds. Because normally speaking, to get water this size of a container of water that hot, and again, our target's 140, 145 degrees, it will take a few minutes, or more like a half hour in some cases. So make sure that you're not wanting to sit around and wait forever for that water to warm up. And these induction plates, this one in particular, has 6 different heat settings. Right now it's on a 4. We're just heating it back up a little bit, and like I said, it just does wonders. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. I don't recommend any particular brand. This is one that we got, I think, back on Black Friday, probably 5 years ago, 6, maybe even longer than that now, and it was like $15-20, so really inexpensive. And it's also great if the power goes out. It is low wattage, so it does work really well with the generator. So it's gonna go ahead, we'll get the temperature checked again. Anything you want to add?
This was our problem chicken that I had, my very first chicken ever killing. I feel sad for killing them because they were living, but it's a factor in life.
Yep. And you're gonna eat them, right?
Yeah.
All right, here Viv goes with chicken number 3. So Viv, explain again. The 3rd time, you're getting better at it. What do you got to do?
For what?
Well, first off, you always keep your eye on them, and you want all the feathers in the water.
I'm trying to do, but the chicken's so big, it's harder to get that part in.
Yes, we don't have the world's biggest pot, but she's doing a really great job.
If you guys have glasses on, I would probably suggest trying to figure out some things so they don't fog up, or to try to learn how to see with fogged up glasses.
Maybe some contacts is what you're suggesting?
Or that, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. She's going to dispatch this chicken. I think it's the last chicken that we have for today.
Yep.
Anything that you want to say beforehand?
This is the chicken that pecked me, and this is going to be a very emotional day for me because I've not really killed any animals, but I'm sure I'll get over it.
All right. Without doing it, because we're not going to show any of it, go ahead and explain how it's done.
So basically, you grab like right around here, and you basically cut it till you get to the bone, and then you let it go, and
it'll bleed out.
Yep. Bleed
now it's going to move around a little bit because it's the blood leaving the body. And always for safety, you want to make sure that you have on non-cuttable gloves, which you could technically cut through, Viv, so you're always careful. But that's just an added level of safety. All right, Viv, I'm going to stop and you go ahead.
Okay, guys, this is Cobblestone, our rooster. I personally named all the chickens out there. So at some time I'll be naming the girls we added into there. But yeah.
All right, so why are we calling him?
Cobblestone?
Why are we butchering him?
Oh, because he was getting very aggressive and it was getting harder for us to collect the eggs that we needed to get.
Yes, so he became super aggressive, especially towards anyone that was smaller, and myself even, and I'm the biggest in our family. But Atlas, Amelia, even Vivian. So it was just to a point we're not raising chicks, so we didn't need any fertile eggs. We're not selling fertile eggs or anything like that. That is not anything we're interested into getting into. So at this point, he was technically supposed to be a hen. They were all supposed to be hens. So we're going to go ahead. Viv's going to try to get him dipped. He is massive. So
I'm collecting one feather so that I can have a contribute of the first chickens I've actually killed. So...
all right, dip him in slow because that pot might overflow.
You don't say.
All right, just remember, like we practice, up and down, whatever you can do. We'll get a bigger pot for next time.
You need to put my hands in there if I want to.
That's very hot water.
You don't say.
All right, we got to move them around a little bit quicker than that. So we're just getting them going. All right, carry them out. I'll go turn the hose on. It should be coming out. Yep, they're coming out. All right, well, we apologize because I've had to shoot most of this on my iPhone, so not necessarily the quality of the video footage that you are normally used to, nor the audio, but we are working with the best that we have that is easy to use, and I don't want to take the chance of damaging a $4,000 to $5,000 camera. So that said, Viv and I, we have all the chickens butchered. We have them all defeathered. We are all set for processing them. Out of the 10 chickens that were up, well, we had 10. We took one and we were initially planning to put it in with the hens, so that was going to leave 9. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up putting 2 more in there. Again, just because they're a heritage breed, they are going to be smaller, but these are, traditionally speaking, chickens that people would have ate long before, some of these newer breeds came along. A lot of people think that they're healthier. I don't know if that's the case or not. I mean, you're certainly going to be healthier because there's not nearly as much meat on them to eat, so you really can't overdo it. But they are defeathered. We just need to process them now, so we are going to clean them out, and then once that's done, we'll put them back in the water that we have, and then we will seal them up in the bags that we have. So I don't remember in total how many do you think we've processed today so far?
We had 9 chickens, 3 of them were females. 6. Add 1 more, that's 7.
Okay, 7. And I was at our local grocery store just before making this video the other day, and right now a whole chicken runs $12, so 7 times 12 is, doing the math, $84 worth of meat potentially, and that's not counting though if the chicken was on sale, and that was not for organic chicken, that was just for the cheapest whole chicken that they had at our store. Certainly we could find cheaper if we purchased a rotisserie chicken from like Walmart, but again, we have no idea anything on them, where they came from, what they ate, or anything like that, which we had complete control over when we raised our own birds here. So Viv, anything you want to add before we get them cleaned out?
No.
Okay, we'll get to work on it. But again, if you're thinking about it, even if you got 5 or 6 birds, it's really worth trying out. Even like I said, if it's just 5 or 6 to start off with and to grow from there. We had 9 this time around. I think we'll go with like 20 next time. In the spring is our next plan, and then we were talking about doing a couple ducks as well, just kind of as a fun experience to try. All right, well, we got to get back to tours, so we're going to be leaving the park here in just a minute. But if you guys have any questions or comments about raising meat birds or any of the other projects that we're doing, please leave in the comment section below or send us a private message. We'd be more than happy to answer for you guys. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. And if you are already, please share the video because we are trying to grow our user base. We want this to be more interactive with you guys. We want feedback from all of our viewers, like yourself and others, to help guide our channel and the content that we have on it. So again, thank you and keep homesteading.